This is Talk Radio.
Across the UK, online, on DAB+, and on the Talk Radio app. Evenings with Kevin O'Sullivan
On Talk Radio.
Ready now to talk about the X Factor, are we? Or not? Yes, Josh Rom, Talk Radio's showbiz guru, is in the building. He's crawling under the camera now. Rather theatrically, if I may say so. And here he is. Welcome. Why are you late?
I'm blaming this metropolitan elite is blaming TfL for severe delays on the Northern Line.
You may be
Camden.
Metropolitan, Josh, but elite you will never be.
Yes, good thing too. I'm proud of that.
Let's talk about the X Factor. It's all over the front page of the Sun today. It says axed. Simon Cowell axes the X Factor. It's not his position to axe the X Factor. Actually,
it wasn't even his statement. It was ITV's statement.
This show was axed 2 years ago. It hasn't been on for a couple of years. And actually, what I suspect has happened is that Simon Cowell's asked for another series and ITV has said, no, we don't want it.
Well, sources have told me that the only reason why X Factor was still in the picture was because of Britain's Got Talent, and it's a kind of package deal with Psycho Entertainment, how they can't have one show.
Cowell's hoping it
would get a package deal.
And ITV don't want the package deal anymore.
Well, they kind of want BGT.
Yeah, they want that, but they don't want the X Factor.
They don't want the X Factor, but I mean, it's very clear by all the press lines that they're very keen to get this line out there, that there is another format called Walk the Line. Apparently, it's high octane, high energy, nail-biting Simon Cowell format for a Saturday night. So they are keen to get...
It's got one series written all over it, yeah.
I mean, it literally is. So that's the thing. They're keen to get this line out there. But this wasn't Simon Cowell's line. This didn't come from Simon Cowell. This came from an ITV spokesperson saying there are no current plans for another series of The X Factor just yet. Now, it has been reported...
The story says Simon Cowell pulls the plug.
Yeah, but that's, I think, his kind of team.
Spin.
It's his spin. It's his team trying to do the typical showbiz spin, trying to control the narrative his way, going, it's our decision.
The situation? What's the situation? The situation, in my view, is Simon Cowell wanted, he'd love to get the X Factor back onto ITV. ITV have told him, we love the Britain's Got Talent, we want to keep that, but you can stick the X Factor where the sun doesn't shine.
And then come up with a new format to replace it. And it's exactly what we were talking about earlier this week.
You say that, Josh. You don't. It doesn't need to be replaced. It hasn't been on for 2 years.
No, but there is, ITV are keen to get another big Saturday night show to compete
Simon
with
Cowell,
Strictly.
Simon Cowell is keen to flog them another show.
Yes, but ITV are also...
compete with Strictly.
ITV want to compete with Strictly. They did it before when the X Factor peaked originally. But it does go back to this point that we were discussing earlier this week with Love Island about reality fatigue. This was a show popular at one stage, it absolutely peaked, resources went too into it, it became tired, it became stale, and then once the viewing figures were in that downward shift, it was inevitable from there. And boy, did they try and resurge it time and time again, a complete revolving door of judges, reworking the format left, right and centre, bringing in surprise twists, trying to get kind of controversial contestants in as well. Nothing seemed to work. It carried on going down and down and down and down.
Because that's what happens with these shows. Once they peaked. As we were discussing the other night with Love Island, they'll do very well to try to revive that show, because it's the downward trajectory with reality shows is almost impossible to reverse, and that's what happened to the X Factor. It became tired. It became almost a parody of itself. But let's talk about some of the high points. It created Leona Lewis. It created One Direction, Little Mix. I mean, especially
had its
moments,
especially One Direction and Little Mix, where these bands were literally put together on the show. They got 4 solo artists, or 5 in One Direction's case, and literally put them together, manufactured these bands, developed them on the show. During the live shows, they got better and better every week. So by the time they left the show, they had already established fan bases that were invested, that could take them to the next level. In the case of One Direction and also Little Mix, they went absolutely global.
Yeah. Actually, I'm getting all a bit nostalgic now. Let's have a listen to the theme tune, shall we? Who were the the only consistent judges. Louis Walsh got sacked and brought back, didn't he?
Sharon Osbourne got sacked and brought back many a time. Nicole Scherzinger got continuously brought back.
Amazeballs.
Oh, I mean,
she was useless.
I mean, she good entertainment, good showbiz
Louis Walsh,
lines.
nice guy, but he was hopeless as well.
Oh, I mean, he could.
You look like a pop star.
You sound like a pop star. Yeah. You are a pop star.
Yeah.
I can't pronounce my own contestants' names, but we'll go with it.
Yeah, you made that song your own.
I mean,
you owned the stage.
I mean,
it was just a collection of circular cliches.
Oh, but the whole show was circular cliches from straight from the auditions.
Do you know where it went wrong? Where it started to go wrong was where Simon Cowell was unable to be Mr. Nasty anymore. I don't entirely blame him.
Well,
because you know what, the X Factor. Because I was writing my TV column throughout much of that long-running series, and at the beginning it was great to watch because it was so unconscionably cruel. Really cruel. They used to get together a band of all the useless funny idiots, and they used to laugh at people who couldn't sing. It was bullying. It was awful.
It was awful,
but it was funny.
Brilliant TV.
And Simon Cowell and his sneering comments, but of course he felt that he had to get nice. The nicer he got, the worse the show got.
Well, actually, I've got another theory. I actually think it's when Gary Barlow joined the panel. When I think when Simon Cowell made the move to take X Factor global or basically to the US, and he tried to take Cheryl with him, and then they famously fell out because Cheryl was obviously never going to work in the US with her accent, and then she refused to return to the UK series. I think when Simon Cowell left and Gary Barlow was brought in, and Talisa and Kelly Rowland were brought in, and Gary Barlow felt like he had to be Mr. Nasty. Do you remember? And I think that's when the show took a downward turn, because without Simon Cowell, people were like, this isn't proper X Factor. It's not the X Factor without Simon and Sharon. From there, it just fell flat.
Yeah, we'll never see that again. What's that show you're saying that he's trying to replace it with?
It's called Walk the Line. Now, obviously, ITV and Psycho are keen to put the line out there.
It's not called Snort the Line, is it?
It could be Snore the Line or Snooze the Line. You never know. But, I mean, what Psycho Entertainment are promising, it's high drama, high octane, nail-biting format. Of course, they're going to say that. They said that with The Greatest Dancer, and look what The Greatest Dancer was.
I'm afraid Simon Cowell was a great showman. Well, he's a great showman, but I think he's lost the Midas touch when it comes to creating new shows. The Greatest Dancer was the greatest disaster in TV history. And do you remember Food, Glorious Food? Oh. My God.
Food, Glorious Food.
We wish Simon all the best, and we also celebrate the end of the X Factor, because, as they say in showbiz, when it's over, it's over. And we're over right now, Josh, because we're out of time. But thanks very much for coming in, mate.
Absolutely.
Josh Rom, Talk Radio's very own show business correspondent. I'm Kevin O'Sullivan, and this is Talk Radio.
Online, on DAB, and on the Talk Radio app. Talk Radio.